It's him.
Yeah, it's me, man. Welcome to the LaFlareLounge with it. Now listen, if y'all ever want to see somebody make a fool of themselves, go no further than Megan Thee Stallion. You see, either Megan is simple, stupid, or slow, and maybe her lawyers don't even know the way of the law, or maybe they're still trying to make things look like they're winning. They're trying to control the narrative still, even after this case. But anybody who paid attention realized what happened. You see, Milagro was ruled by the jurors liable for the defamation part of the case. So yes, it was in favor of Megan Thee Stallion. Wait, but what was not in Megan's favor was that Milagro, according to the jury, should be recognized as a media defendant. Why is that important? Because through Florida state law, you have to serve a cease and desist 5 days prior to you filing a lawsuit of defamation. So the minute that they signed a defamation lawsuit on Milagro Gramz, they ruined their own case. It was kind of pointless unless they were going to prove that she is not Milagro. We're speaking of media. And I guess that was the plan, but it didn't work.
Have to pay based on what the ruling today.
Right, so if the math is correct, if our memory is correct, it's $75,000 across all claims. But you do take off the money that was generated by the jury's verdict on the defamation count. Right, so they found $15,000 in compensatory damages for defamation, but also $1,000 in punitive damages for the defamation claim. So you would subtract what, $16,000 from $75,000. If my math is correct, that's what, $59,000 in damages across the board, punitive and compensatory. And so because the jurors found that Milagro Cooper was a media defendant, that means that the plaintiffs in this case had to send Milagro Cooper a cease and desist letter before they sued her. Because they did not send a cease and desist letter, that defamation claim was pretty much dead in the water when it was filed.
And why would they have to send a cease and desist letter? Because
media defendants are provided an extra layer of protection, right, and allows them to do their jobs, properly without having to fear of being sued for every little thing that they say. So if there is some discrepancy, if there is a statement that someone thinks is defamatory and it comes from a media defendant, the law gives them opportunity to send a cease and desist letter, to take down the statement, or to talk about it beforehand, before there's any sort of lawsuit. And that just didn't happen in this case.
Excellent. Your whole name is?
Jeremy McClymont. Last name is McLymont. I'll give you a card too.
Excellent. Thank you.
All in all, we're talking about $16,000 and the right to say, I won my defamation case. That's what this whole debate is about. Now, clearly that makes sense. But for whatever reason, because people do not like taking L's, they do not like being embarrassed, they do not like looking stupid, Megan Thee Stallion's team issued a statement through their through their unbiased journalist, Megan Cuniff, saying that, hey, actually the judge hasn't even made a settlement or a judgment on the defamation. It's going to be a later date. So the ruling is $75,000. I don't know where you guys are getting this $59,000 from, but it's not right. And then Megan Thee Stallion would quote tweet Megan Cuniff by saying, thank you. Here they go again, lying as usual. If you want real media news, know how to be patient and know how to read. That's a bold statement. She just sued Milagro for allegedly spreading misinformation and defaming her. And she's saying that Milagro's team is still lying after the judgment, after the ruling, and still spreading misinformation. When in actuality, she's the one doing it. She even got on TikTok and was like, not them still spreading lies. I mean, it's ridiculous. Megan's lawyer would even send an email to Milagro's lawyer by saying, Jeremy, your press conference release has come to our attention. As you are aware, your statement is categorically and demonstrably false. Your press release falsely claims Mrs. Cooper prevailed and is not liable for defamation when in fact the jury found her liable on all counts, including defamation. This is a material misrepresentation of the jury's verdict and the court proceedings. As you know, the court has not entered any kind of judgment. The jury found your client liable on every single count. Even if the court entered judgment today, it would not say not liable on count 1. You and your client are posting defamatory content, and we demand a formal retraction given your statement has already spread across social media. Confirm you will retract immediately. If you do not retract immediately, we plan to bring this to the court's attention and serve all rights against you, your firm, and your client. Regards. Milagro Cooper's lawyer would come back and say, I did not misrepresent anything that the jury found. Nowhere in my statement does it say that the jury found that Mrs. Cooper was not liable for defamation. Clearly, the judge's final order is different from the jury's verdict on defamation. However, the jury's verdict is that Mrs. Cooper is a media defendant. That is fact. The jury instructions read that the media defendant issue a preliminary question for the defamation count. If Mrs. Cooper is a media defendant, then you were required to serve Mrs. Cooper a pre-suit notice. As you will know, you did not serve Mrs. Cooper with the requirement pre-suit notice. So as the judge said many times, the defamation claim is out under those circumstances. That means that Mrs. Cooper did in fact prevail on the defamation count. How can the final order of the court read that Mrs. Cooper is liable for defamation if the court does not enter a final judgment for count 1, defamation? The court has not entered a written order. However, we were all present when the court said that I would enter judgment for counts 2 and 3. Please explain to me which of my and my client's statements are defamatory. And Megan, you can get online because you have the bigger platform. You have rabid fans, a rabid fan base that are gonna blindly follow you. But one thing that don't lie is the paperwork. Because the judge put his ruling on paper today, and it's exactly what Milagro's team said. The case, let me not say the case, the judgment in which the jurors said that Milagro was liable for defamation was thrown out. Therefore, you lost that aspect because your lawyers couldn't simply know the law. They couldn't send a cease and desist because you were so anxious to sue this woman. Y'all watched her for like 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and something so minuscule as sending a cease and desist at first was not done. You lost this case yourself, when in actuality, even if you did win it, when it comes to the defamation aspect, it would have been a matter of $16,000. That's what people are arguing about right now. And all of this, when we can clearly see that the ruling was $59,000, made you look so stupid because you're the one who went under Megan Kunif's page and said that this is real media, when all she did was quote the misinformation that your team put out. And you said those other media outlets are lying. All you have to do is be patient and read. Well, we were patient for 24 hours and now this paperwork is out. And even Megan Kunif couldn't even say that that was a lie. She put up a post saying, yeah, the judge said 59K, my nigga. And the ruling and the judgment that the judge put out is now in paperwork and it's online. It's official. You guys can pause this video and read right here. I'm gonna put both of them up. You guys can read it, but it basically says what I've been telling y'all the whole time, 59K, because Megan's lawyers are stupid. Even Milagro would come out and address this situation because God damn. How much more do I gotta take?
I'm not out of the airport yet, but I did just get word that the judge did sign on the dotted line. So the order is official. Defamation was thrown out. She recognized me and agreed with the jury that I am media. So I'm gonna need all y'all to correct them different things that y'all done put online, okay? Love you.
I lost the judgment. I owe you $59K plus a potential, you know, much more for paying your lawyer fees. For you to still be calling me a liar, it's crazy. And this is exactly what she did to Tory. Tory's been in jail. She's still filing restraining orders, still trying to get him to participate in other civil lawsuits. Like, just leave it alone, Megan. You want to be right so bad that you're willing to hurt your own brand while bigging up Milagro's brand. Milagro probably don't even got to come out of pocket herself to pay you this $75K. She could literally do a fundraiser. She could do a GoFundMe and get this money. All she got to do is probably 3 nights of YouTube live at this point because you've upped her brand. That's what you don't realize you're losing at. And just for shits and giggles, let's go back to what Megan said earlier, where she said, thank you. Here they go lying again as usual. If you want real media / news, know how to be patient and know how to read. Those were the words out of Megan's mouth. But her whole thing is she wants everybody to listen to the jurors, not the judge's final statement. She wants to pick and choose for us to listen to the jurors by saying that Milagro is held liable for the defamation part, right? But for whatever reason, she doesn't want the people to listen to the jurors' assessment that Milagro is real media. You can't pick and choose, girl. You can't say only listen to the jurors when they say that she defamed me, but don't listen to the jurors when they say she's real media. And this is where you lost me. Listen, take your $59K, get the hell out of here. Go make some music, man. This is shameful. You're lying about nothing. You're arguing semantics. The juror says their judgment, but the judge has the final say so. That's how trials work. So yes, you lost. You won the other 2 counts though. Be appreciative of that. That's how you know the defamation is what really meant something to her. She tried to change the game. She tried to make a statement. She tried to be Cardi B. It didn't work out. Sorry, this isn't a Tasha K situation. You didn't even send a cease and desist. Your lawyers stink. Because you could have got your little $75K, got you a little Yukon, maybe a new little Cadillac Suburban or something, and went on about your day. But hey, you can still get you a little Mazda CX-90, a Toyota Sequoia, maybe a little BMW X5. You can still manage with that $60K, you hear me? But you probably got to break it down with like all 6, 7 of your lawyers. So if y'all put y'all money together, y'all can get all that. But anyway, I just don't like the lying, Still ain't learned a lesson, still trying to control the narrative, still trying to control the media. You're a liar, Megan, and your team lies for you. That's sad. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comments, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell, and we out, baby. Boom! IG-TheLaFlareLounge.
It's him.